Imagine tasting fermented fish or sipping on wine brewed with baby mice. Yes, you heard it right. The world is filled with an incredible variety of foods, some of which might make your stomach churn. But to someone else, in some far-flung corner of the globe, these are delicacies to be savored and enjoyed. From strong, pungent odors that could clear a room, to unusual textures that challenge your palate, to foods that even bring about moral disgust, the range is truly mind-boggling. But remember, food isn't just about taste. It's a sensory adventure, a cultural journey, and sometimes a dare. Some foods might even make you question the very boundaries of what you consider edible. But that's the beauty of this culinary roller coaster we're about to embark on. So brace yourselves as we dive into the world's most disgusting foods. Surströmming, a fermented fish from Sweden, tops our list. Now, what is surströmming, you may ask? It's a culinary delight, or perhaps a challenge, depending on how you look at it. Surströmming is made from Baltic sea herring that is fermented for at least 6 months. The process gives the fish a distinctively potent aroma, which is often the first thing that hits you. Many people describe the smell as overwhelming, a potent mix of rotten eggs, vinegar, and a hint of rancid butter. This smell is so strong that surströmming is often opened outdoors to avoid the stench from permeating homes. But the sensory adventure doesn't stop at the smell. The taste of surströmming is equally unique. It's intensely salty, with a depth of flavor that only fermentation can bring. The fish itself has a gooey texture, adding another layer to the already challenging eating experience. This Swedish delicacy is a test of one's culinary bravery. It's not for the faint-hearted, but those who dare often find themselves part of an exclusive club who can say, "Yes, I've tried surströmming, and I survived." Just remember, it's the smell that gets you first. Moving on to Asia, we have some truly unique dishes that might make your stomach churn. Our first stop is India, where we find gomutra. Now brace yourselves, for gomutra is a therapeutic drink made from cow urine. Yes, you heard that right, cow urine. It's consumed for its claimed health benefits. Despite the initial shock it may incite, gomutra has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries, believed to cure a wide range of ailments. Next, we journey to Korea for a taste of tongsul. This is a traditional Korean medicine, and hold on to your hats, folks, because it's made by fermenting human child feces with rice and yeast. It might sound like something out of a horror movie, but it's a traditional remedy thought to treat everything from broken bones to epilepsy. Last, but certainly not least, we're off to southern China and ancient Korea, home of the infamous mouse wine. This is not a metaphor, folks. Mouse wine is a beverage made by drowning baby mice in rice wine and maturing it for at least a year. The taste and smell of mouse wine are described as putrid and strong, and it's consumed for its believed health benefits. These are traditional concoctions deeply rooted in the cultures they come from, and while they may seem bizarre or even revolting to outsiders, they're a testament to the diversity of human culinary practices and the lengths we'll go to in search of health and wellness. It's safe to say, these are not your average dinner drinks. As we continue our journey, we stumble upon more bizarre foods from different parts of the world. It's fascinating, isn't it? How one man's disgust can be another's delicacy. Let's take a trip to China, where we find century eggs, also known as pidan. These are duck, chicken, or quail eggs preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months. The result? A dark green or even black egg white, now a jelly with a strong smell of sulfur and ammonia, and a yolk that's creamy with a flavor akin to aged cheese. What's not to love? Next, we venture to the sunny climes of Italy, where we encounter casu marzu, a cheese that's literally crawling with life. This Sardinian sheep milk cheese has a special ingredient, live insect larvae. Yes, you heard it right. The cheese fly larvae are introduced to the cheese, promoting an advanced level of fermentation. It's eaten when the larvae are still wriggling, giving it an extra, shall we say, kick. Lastly, we're off to the frosty landscapes of Iceland, where hakarl, or fermented shark, rules the roost. The Greenland shark used for this delicacy is actually poisonous when fresh, so it's buried underground, pressed with stones to drain its toxic fluids, and then hung to dry for several months. The end product is a strong, cheese-like, ammonia-rich dish that's definitely an acquired taste. These unusual eats may make some of us shudder or even gag, while others see them as cherished cultural traditions, a testament to human culinary creativity and the lengths we'll go to for a tasty treat. Or, just something to munch on with a cold beer. These are not for the faint-hearted, are they? Ever wondered why we find certain foods disgusting? Well, let's dive into the science behind it. Disgust, as off-putting as it may be, serves a crucial evolutionary function. It's like our body's very own security guard, warning us against potentially harmful or deadly foods. Think about it. When you see moldy bread or smell spoiled milk, your immediate reaction is one of revulsion. That's your body's way of saying, "Hold up there, buddy, that's not safe to eat." Now, while the biological aspect of disgust is pretty straightforward, things get a little more complex when we factor in cultural and personal preferences. You see, what's considered disgusting in one culture might be a prized delicacy in another. Take surströmming, for instance, a fermented fish from Sweden that's notorious for its strong smell and salty fermented taste. To the uninitiated, it may seem repulsive, but for the Swedes, it's a cherished tradition. And it's not just about geography. Personal preferences play a big role too. Some might recoil at the thought of eating insects, while others might see them as a crunchy, protein-packed snack. The same goes for foods with unusual textures, like gooey cheeses or slimy oysters. Our individual experiences and exposures shape our palate, influencing what we find delicious or disgusting. But here's the kicker. While our sense of disgust can protect us, it can also limit us. By shunning unfamiliar foods, we might be missing out on some incredible flavors and nutritional benefits. So should we ignore our disgust altogether? Not quite. It's about finding a balance, understanding our body's signals, while also being open to new and potentially delicious experiences. So it's not just about taste, it's about survival too. And remember, the next time you come across a dish that makes you squirm, pause for a moment. Is it your body's warning system kicking in, or is it just a case of unfamiliarity? You might be surprised at what you discover. Well, we've certainly taken our taste buds on a wild ride today. We've journeyed through a myriad of flavors and textures that some might call, well, unconventional. From the unthinkable delicacies to the stink bombs of Sweden, our culinary voyage has been nothing short of extraordinary. Remember when we explored surströmming, that fermented fish from Sweden, that's notorious for its potent smell and salty fermented taste? Then we ventured into Asia, where the concoctions took a whole new turn. Mouse wine, anyone? A delicacy involving baby mice drowned in rice wine and matured for a year, definitely not for the faint-hearted. We also encountered tongsul, a traditional Korean medicine made from fermented human child feces. Yikes! We also discussed some unusual eats like gamutra, cow urine from India, consumed for its therapeutic purposes and alleged health benefits. Each of these delicacies had their unique characteristics, and though they may seem repulsive to some, they hold a significant cultural value in their respective regions. Our discussion also led us to the purpose of disgust. It's not just a reaction to something unpleasant, but an evolutionary function that warns us of potentially dangerous or deadly foods. Cultural and personal preferences play a considerable role in determining what we find delicious or disgusting. So, whether we're talking about a gooey textured fish or a strong-smelling wine, it's clear that disgusting is a subjective term. What may seem revolting to one might be a delicacy to another. In the end, it's all about embracing diversity, not just in our cultures and traditions, but also on our plates. Whether these foods make you gag or pique your curiosity, it's clear that disgusting is in the eye or mouth of the beholder. Until next time, bon appetit, or maybe not.